Hey guys, this is your boy Red Ronin GM. How's it going? In today's age of a video game, we've seen some iconic titles getting remakes. We have seen it with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 4, the recently announced remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, who will be renamed as Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and more. When these games go through the remake process, it allows them to have their story retold in a much detailed and profound way, especially on the graphical layer. While I could think of many old titles that would benefit from such treatment, there is one classic that I believe deserves a long-due remake: Chrono Trigger. Initially released on the Super Nintendo on March 11, 1995 in Japan and August 22nd in North America in the same year, Chrono Trigger remains one of the best JRPG games ever made, more so due to its great gameplay, compelling story, and stunning mechanics and character design. That title, as of today, is still hailed as one of the best video games of all time. And next year in 2025, this game will be celebrating its 30th anniversary. And so, what better moment to announce a remake? But how would that be made and why? At least from my perspective, this is how I would want this game to be remade. Of course, this is just my point of view and you don't have to agree with me. In terms of graphics, I thought that something as realistic as Final Fantasy VII Remake would be amazing. But after further thinking, it would be too serious and mature for a game like Chrono Trigger. Something in the same vein as Dragon Quest XI would be the best way to go. It would be logical to go that route, considering that such design has Akira Toriyama's art style. He was, after all, not only the character designer for the Dragon Quest series, but also for Chrono Trigger. Unfortunately, the legendary creator of Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball passed away in March 2024. Nevertheless, I believe that Toyotaro, the author behind the Dragon Ball Super manga series, could be a great successor if such game were to be remade. His style was acknowledged by Toriyama himself, so why not for a Chrono Trigger remake? And if not, there is no shortage of artists that has assimilated Toriyama's art style, like DBS Kakeru 1 on X, for example. If we're looking at the game's story, I believe a remake of the iconic game would welcome a great opportunity to dive deeper into its narrative, plot, and subplot. We've seen it in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, and on how it dug deeper into its lore. So why not for Chrono Trigger? While this may be the way I would generally go about it, I would not stop there. I would go beyond that than just remaking Chrono Trigger. I would also approach the idea of remaking Chrono Cross. Now, why is that? For two reasons particularly. Before I continue, I would like to invite you all to have a look at my manga projects on my Patreon and GoFundMe pages to help me kickstart a long-time dream of mine sparked by Akira Toriyama. All of the links are in the description below if you want to have a look. Thank you so much. Now, let us continue. The first reason of having a Chrono Cross remake as well would be to complement Chrono Trigger's story, to delve into details that couldn't be explored before due to the heavy presence of 45 playable characters and their own stories and side quests in the game. For example, it would be great to know more about the dire fate that befell Chrono, Marley, and the Kingdom of Guardia due to the invasion of Pore. In the Chrono Cross Ultimania, Masato Kato, the writer behind Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, said something interesting. I quote, "Originally, I wanted to clearly depict the subsequent story of Shala and Janice, but I gave up when the number of characters reached 40. To portray the close relationship between Shala, Kid, and Janice, I thought it would be impossible without reducing the number of characters. Taking out that sizable number of characters and leaving more space for the story development could have made this game quite something else. Perhaps something more connected to the lore and story of Chrono Trigger. So through a remake, this could be a second chance to better explore that avenue." My second reason for a remake of Chrono Cross as well would be to open the path to a project that was once abandoned. Chrono Break. Now, what is Chrono Break? This project was meant to be the third official installment of the Chrono series when trademarked in 2001. Alas, many factors contributed to the failure of making this game. Reuniting the dream team that was composed of Toriyama, Sakaguchi, and Yuji Ori, the creator of the Dragon Quest series, was difficult as they were busy with other projects. Some staff members had left Squaresoft at the time, and others were occupied working on Final Fantasy XI, the franchise's first MMORPG. And more so, management made it difficult to allocate resources for the project, especially after the merger of Squaresoft and Enix in April 2003. And so, unfortunately, the project faded to darkness, never seeing the light of day. I believe remaking Chrono Trigger could open the door to not only retelling this amazing and epic time-traveling story, but also to complete this entire series in a much amazing, profound, and extraordinary way. Sure, it would not be easy. There is a myriad of things that would be in the way before such endeavor would even begin. And yet, it would not be impossible. Again, Chrono Trigger turns 30 years old on 2025. Such time would seem to be an excellent opportunity to revive this forgotten yet timeless franchise. But honestly, if you could at least get a port on PS5, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch, that would already be nice enough. But hey, it doesn't hurt to dream, right? I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making it, so please leave a like to support it and subscribe to my channel. You can always follow me on my other links, including my Twitch channel. All of them are in the description below. So guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much. So take it easy, stay breezy, and I'll see you around.